Oh, I can't believe this. Let me go ahead and take care of that really quick. I'll just put on something really quick while I take care of that. 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. This is Adrienne Obi, Capricorntigress of Astrology A Look Inside. And I'm coming to you a bit late for the month of February with my reading. So I'm going to do a marathon um, live reading today for all 12 signs. And then I'll break it up later, individually for you guys so that you each have your own individual reading. So let's start with the sign of Aries. Okay, so Aries, your 12th house is illuminated. There's going to be quite a bit of emphasis in the sign of Pisces in the month of February. And you're probably going to feel that. I think some Aries may, I don't know, I always say psychic ability, but really I think it's tapping into the unknown subconscious world, like the ability to see beyond the veil. We can't always do that. But I think when you have a lot of emphasis in the 12th house, like you will, I think you guys might have a psychic experience or something of that nature. I mean, Mercury is retrograding in the 12th. Neptune is in the 12th. The sun will be in the 12th as of the 18th. And the new moon will be in the 12th as of the 23rd. I think you're going to really feel it more at the latter half of February versus like now. So be aware of that. Um, Also, Aries, Venus is going into your sign. So you're going to have Venus in Aries. Of course, Chiron's been there, but on the 7th, which is just 3 days from now, Venus is going to go into Aries. And I think a lot of Aries are going to feel that. You may actually feel a great deal of romantic vibes over the next few weeks. And I say that because in just 5 days, there's going to be a full moon in Leo at 20 degrees in your 5th house of romance. Love, it's romance. It could be some pregnancies out of the blue, y'all. Y'all better be careful. Just saying, it could happen. It's a full moon. It's in Leo, and that is a trine to Aries. Interesting. Also, let's not forget the North Node is at 7 degrees in Cancer in your 4th house. So women, be careful, okay, about if you don't want to get pregnant. I'm just saying, because Venus is going to be in the 1st, North Node's in the 7th, 4th, and the full moon's in the 5th. That is an opening there for that. So unless you want to get pregnant. If you do, I would dare say do it on the 9th of February. Okay. Now, most of the emphasis is not only in the 12th house, but also in the 10th, because we have that Capricorn stellium still going on with Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter. But on the 16th of February, Mars joins the party, and Mars is going to be hanging out in Capricorn for a minute. And you guys might feel that. That's going to be more, Mars is your ruling planet, right? Aries. Your ruling planet is going to be in the 10th house. Your ruling planet is going to be in your career, in your ambitions, in your reputation, in the way maybe your boss thinks of you or the public thinks of you. So be aware that Mars is going to be hanging out there. Mars can be aggression or aggressive. And I would say, because you are an Aries, you might want to be cautious of aggression, or being too aggressive. But, when it comes to ambition and career, you push, okay? There is no such thing as too much aggression with your career, with Mars sitting up in the 10,000, it being your ruling planet. I think with Venus being in your first house, I think whatever faux pas that Mars, that fast action causes, I think that Venus is going to smooth it over, You know what I'm trying to say, smooth it over. And you should be fine. I think you can take chances, especially after the 9th. From the 9th to the 23rd, from the 9th to the 23rd, actually even now, because the last new moon we had in Aquarius was sextile Aries. So you're covered, Aries. This is a good time for you to take a chance, as long as a positive one, toward your goals and your desires. And Mars rules our desires. So make sure your desires are pure, they're attainable, and you're not being too aggressive or hurting anyone, but go for it. Just be aware of all that stellium going on in the 12th house, okay? That's hidden things. That could be self-undoing things. So don't sabotage yourself. Pisces can get a little bit like that. They, you know, it's a water sign, Pisces, and you're air. So there could be a vibe like, uh, putting out my fire, putting out my desire. So you need to watch out for that, okay? Just thought I would warn you. All right, happy full moon in the 5th house to you, Aries. I hope you enjoy that, and make a date. Have a date night. What day is that? The 9th. Let me just check. It's Sunday. Yeah, why not? Make it a date night. Saturday, Sunday. Why not? Okay. Good luck to you, Aries. Much love and light to you. Many blessings. Happy February. And if you haven't, be sure to like and share our videos, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you over at Astrology Look Inside. Much love and light to you. Next up, we have the sign of Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, I've been talking about this for months with you guys, because with Uranus in the first house, and now there's this stellium of Capricorn that's been in your 9th house. I think some Tauruses really have, I keep saying it and I feel so bad when I say it, some Tauruses really may have gone off the deep end. I mean, they've made some changes to themselves, to their environment, to everything, really. Tauruses are changing. I bet you, if you think about a Taurus you knew, say, 5 years ago, I bet they're nothing like that, or they're changing from what they were like 5 years ago to now. Not the same. They're changing. And I think with the stellium up in the 9th house in Capricorn, I mean, that is, I think, because the 9th house rules like our philosophy and our higher consciousness. I think that even the basic nature of Taurus is being changed, like the basic foundation of their philosophy of life, the way they look at life in general, their God principle, their spirituality. Some Tauruses may not have been spiritual. They may be now. Some may have been spiritual. They may not be now. It's the change. There's changes happening for Taurus. A lot of change. Now, for Taurus, a lot of what you guys might go through this month, Venus is going into Aries. I think it went in yesterday. I'm not mistaken. I think when Venus is in Aries in your 12th house, there could be, I'm just going to go with, let me pick up a crystal, you guys. 5 for something I'm supposed to tell you. So there could be this love that or romance that I almost want to say it was like your self-undoing. Like I think that might, whatever might be unresolved in the area of love like that, you might have to deal with it. It might come to the fore. So be aware of that. As Venus is in your 12th house. So it's all the hidden skeletons in the closet that has to do with love, I think, are going to come out. Venus is your ruling planet, Taurus. It is. And it's going to be in your 12th house. So I think that will affect some Tauruses. You might have memories or dreams um, of past loves, past romances. You might even get some correspondence or something out of the blue that has to do with old love. Skeleton, like I keep thinking skeleton in a closet kind of love. I don't want to say affairs or hidden love. That could be part of it. I think it's love that is deeply buried, deeply hidden, maybe even from you. And it'll come to the surface now. I think it will. If, if it's there, you might sense that, you know, that happens. There's a great deal of emphasis in your 11th house of friends, Taurus. And this is because we're going to have the new moon in Pisces on the 23rd. We've got the sun going into Pisces on the 18th. We got Mercury in Pisces retrograding on the 16th. And it's a it's a lot going on there. I think with Mercury retrograding on the 16th, I would be cautious of saying things to friends. You might feel like you have to say something that you didn't say before, and like, I gotta say it. It's been inside of you for so long, and you've never got to say it. And you may feel like now is the time that has to be said. And the sun is there, so that's one good thing. And the new moon as of the 23rd is there's new beginnings. Maybe you can start a new beginning of friendships. That is a possibility. I see that as a possibility. The North Node is in Cancer in your 3rd house, and that supports, I think, whatever that sun and moon are going to be doing, especially the moon. They're actually going to be trying each other. So, be interesting. I mean, if you have to communicate with friends, or you've got old friends that you've lost touch with or stopped communicating with, or especially if they're old loves, things like that, I mean, this would be a great time, I think, to work it out, or at least smooth things over. At the end of the day, Venus is not only your ruling planet, but Venus is a benefic. It's a beneficial planet, and even though it's in the 12th house, it's sextile Pisces, the natural ruler of the 12th. And with the sun being in Pisces and the new moon being in Pisces, I can see you guys really working out, via communication, some issues that you might have had, or they've been deeply buried, or, you've not really faced them. Maybe now you can face them. There is a stellium of Capricorn planets in the 9th house. And that 9th house is travel. It is your philosophy, as I mentioned earlier. With Mars there, I can really see you pushing toward whatever this is. Now, it could be legal. It could be legal. And it could be, going to the court system, or, working things out there. I think with Mars being in Capricorn, though, it may be a little bit more aggressive or combative than you originally thought, or maybe just more energy and effort put into this area. And the 9th house rules things like legal matters, courts, the judicial system, the police system, political system, education, philosophy, the God principle, psychic ability, colleges, universities, religion, especially organized religion, and any kind of organized education, like higher education. It also rules travel, especially long distance travel. And so some Tauruses may be dealing with travel right now. So that's something that may come up as well. So this is what I see for you. There is some emphasis in the second. You'll have some squares from Aquarius and that Aquarius sun and the Leo moon that comes on the 9th. But overall, Taurus, I think you can get through this without much problem. I would say with that full moon on the 9th in Leo, it's going to be happening in the 4th house. I would caution you to just exercise care with your family and in your home. Okay? All right. Well, much love and light to you, Taurus. Many blessings to you. If you haven't already done so, take a moment to like and share our video and subscribe to our channel. And, share the word that we're here. Also, you can find out more about us by going to astrologyalookinside.com. All right. Much love and light to you, Taurus. You have a beautiful February. Bye. So that's Taurus there. So let's see what we have here. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I've got my little Valentine's up in the background here because it is that time of the year. It's Valentine's, and I don't even have my own little Valentine's this year. So I'm, just like I will celebrate it for others. Okay. So up next, we have the sign of Gemini. Gemini. Geminis, it's going to be an interesting month for you guys. I really think so. You've had Mars in the 7th house in Sagittarius for the last few weeks. And I think some gems might have had a push in the area of partnerships and relationships. I would say specifically new partnerships or relationships. I could see where that could have been something that might have been, you push for that a little bit, maybe. Could have been enemies. I mean, it's the 7th house. The 7th house is the house of open enemies. And speaking of that, I don't know if you guys can see me looking around, but I feel like I need to burn sage during your reading. Sorry, you guys. Let me get that. Give me a second. So what happened, gems? Why do I feel like I gotta burn the sage? And to my little Gemini friends, what you guys go through? It's funny because I got a Gemini moon. Progressed. I've got a Taurus moon by birth, but Gemini moon progressed. And I can't say it was a bad month, but I can't say it was good. You know what I mean? It's not like I made the progress. Well, it's not progress. We're talking about romantic, right? We're talking about romance. Romance was, hmm. And I think some gems might have felt that. You guys got Uranus sitting in your 12th house right now in Taurus. And there could be some things as going on in secret in your life, possibly. There could be some self-undoing. I mean, it's Uranus, it's sudden, it's unexpected, it comes out the blue. It's in your 12th house. And so, I mean, whatever that means, you know what I'm talking about. It could just be could mean that when you're doing things in private, that, you know, you act a little erratic, maybe. It could be that. It could be that you just get sudden, brilliant ideas like in your sleep. I could see that too. It's a lot of ways that Uranus in the 12th can manifest. But it is Uranus. And it is sudden, unexpected, you know, almost explosive behavior. So that's something to keep in mind. The North Node is in Cancer in your second house, gems. And I think over this year, a lot of Geminis have learned, I think, to be more compassionate, I think, when it comes to things like money. And I'm telling you, everything, Gemini, is messing with your reading. Let me go get that. That's my alarm. Lord have mercy. Give me a second. I've got a really ignorant alarm. Oh, Lord. I swear, isn't Drake a Gemini? Or he's either a Gemini or I got to look that up because I can't believe that just happened. Hold on for a second. I'm serious. Like, why did that just happen? In the middle of my reading like that, all loud. Let me just see something. No, Scorpio. I had to check. He's born the same year as my daughter. So, and you guys, I just wanted to say this. The full moon, well, first before, yeah, this full moon that's coming up on the 9th in like 4 days, 5 days. This is going to be happening in your third house of communication. It's in Leo. You know, the third house is your natural house, Gemini. That's your house. And I think some Geminis might feel like they've got some things to say. And I think some Geminis might say it in a very big way. So I mean, I would be really watch what I say, because this could be, Leo is pretty out, you know, it'll come out and say what I got to say. And I think with the sun in the 9th house on the other side, in the 9th house, there's just that natural opposition that occurs with that full moon. So, you know, the opposite side is like legal. So watch what you're saying. It could come back to you even from a legal standpoint. Gotta be careful about that. And not only that, just remember that at this time, Geminis, that you guys have Capricorn in the 8th house right now. I mean, overall. And that's Pluto in its own home, for goodness sake. My goodness. You've got Saturn there, which is the great restrictor and constrictor. And we've got Jupiter there, which might want to make you say more than you should say. But also Mars is going there on the 16th of February. The 8th house is actually the house of secrets. And although, you know, we've got a stellium of planets there, Mars joins the party on the 16th. I would practice caution and secretiveness. I would say over the next 2 weeks after this full moon in Leo, because then the emphasis for 2 weeks is going to be, you know, in that third house in Leo. And I think over the next couple of weeks, I would be cautious about my speech and, just not going off on a tangent or getting really excited or aggressive in that way. Because Leo is can be over the top. I keep saying it's true. And so be really cautious of that with Mars in the eighth like that. Also because, there's a lot of Pisces going on in your 10th house. See, okay, what I would hate to see, and this is a far, 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 I'm far reaching here with this scenario. Okay, this is the total, if you take it all away. But with the third house with Leo going on like that, and it's being opposed by the sun and Aquarius, and then you got the stellium going on in the 10th house, it's in Pisces, and the new moon comes on the 23rd. And you got Mercury retrograding there as of the 16th. You got the sun there as of the 18th. That could be some confusion in your career. It could be some confusion in your communication. You'd see Mercury, which is retrograding in your 10th house, is the natural ruler of Gemini and the natural ruler of the third house where this full moon is occurring. It's all connected. So I really want you to be cautious, especially like speaking at work and around your boss and around your coworkers and things like that. And it would be something that you probably wouldn't even think twice about because it's Neptune and Pisces and, So, and with Uranus and the 12th, they're all tying in together in my mind. Anyway, you guys, I want you to be cautious of that. Watch your speech. Be creative, though. This is a great time for creativity. It really is. I mean, with the new moon coming into your 10th, Neptune up there, the sun up there, Mercury up there. Oh, that's pure creativity. You could create something amazingly creative right now. And let's not forget, Leo also is also creativity. I can see you guys doing some really creative things, especially in the area of speech and communication. And I would bring on the help of friends because you've got Venus in Aries as of, I guess, yesterday. I think it was. Venus is in Aries, and that's sextile Gemini, but it's in your 11th house of friends, hopes, dreams, and wishes, and groups and associations, but friends, okay? So much love and light to you, Gemini. I do hope you take advantage of that. And also that Mars in the 8th house could mean money, extra money coming in. And I hope you take advantage of that as well. Thank you so much for your support, Gemini. And please take a moment to like and share our videos, subscribe to our channel, spread the word, let everyone know we're here. And I thank you so much for, just being a subscriber or at least a watcher. And I wish you all the best in the month of February. I think it's going to be a very creative month for you in February. And I think good things could come out of it. All right. Blessings to you, Jim. So up next, we have the sign of Cancer. Cancer. So Cancers, you guys have been dealing with the North Node in your first house just about all year. I think it's just been directing you, trying to get you to be more self-aware of your impact as a person, like how your personality, the you that is you, is affecting the world around you, especially, I think, from an emotional, caring, nurturing level. And many Cancers, I think, have been more caring and nurturing and giving than they might have been in the past. It's a beautiful thing, Cancer. So I hope that you've embraced it. It's taught you probably compassion, and maybe even unconditional love. That's possible. Um, as of the 9th, which is just days from now, there's going to be a full moon in Leo. And that's going to be happening in your second house of money. Money, Cancer. Money. I think whenever I see something like, oh my gosh, the second house of money, and it's a full moon in Leo, and then you've got Venus and that goes into Aries or just went into Aries in your 10th house, your solar 10th house or your natural 10th house. That is very pleasant, positive things happening in your career. And it's being supported by a full moon, the emphasis in money. And the sun is opposed that full moon in Aquarius in the 8th house of other people giving you money. So take advantage of the pleasantness of your career, perhaps, to earn more money at this time, to make more pleasant contacts at this time. I think also with Jupiter in the 7th house, Pluto in the 7th house, Saturn in the 7th house, and then on the 16th of February, Mars in the 7th house. I think there's going to be quite a bit of emphasis on partnerships. This could be business partnerships. This could be romantic partnerships. It most likely may be romantic partnerships. And it is possible with Saturn and Pluto and Mars and Jupiter in the 7th house that some Cancers may be looking to settle down. I've been saying this on you Cancers for a couple of months now, but I believe it. I do. Saturn is a very stable planet. It's not the play around type of planet. It means business. And it's in your 7th house of partnerships. So I would think that if you're dealing with someone on a romantic level, they mean business. They're not playing around. And I hope you're not playing around with their heart either. I would be extra cautious because, see, the 10th house is the natural ruling house for Capricorn. And with Venus sitting up in that 10th house, I really think the emphasis on your partnerships and finding that special other one may be really a big part of your focus in the month of February. Um, Also, there is some emphasis in Pisces going on in your 9th house. That could be some travel, but it could be confusion over travel. It could be legal matters, but it could be confusion over legal matters. It could be law or legal, like court system, but it could be confusion there. Wherever Neptune goes, although it can be creative, inspiring, um, even religious, spiritual, it can also be confusing. And when I see it in the 9th house, where there should be clarity, it makes me realize there could be some non-clarity in an area where you need it. And that's things like your philosophy, your religion, your spiritual um, mindset, all of that is being affected because the sun, the new moon, Mercury's going to be retrograding, all Neptune, they're all happening in the 9th house there. So you'll feel that between the 7th and the 9th, you'll be feeling that. In a way, it almost makes me wonder if Cancers aren't going to travel to go see a love or something like that. Either a potential romantic partner could be coming to visit you or you them. Or it ooh, could be open enemies in court. Ooh. Uh, I would say even if that happens, which I think is the worst scenario, it's Pisces and Capricorn sextile each other. And Pisces trines Cancer. You're fine, Cancer. All right. There is Uranus in the 11th house of friends. It does make me wonder if there might not be something sudden, unexpected, maybe even a betrayal among friends. Or it might just be that you stick up extra for your friends, because, you know, Capricorn and Taurus trying each other. So the 7th house to the 11th house is actually a positive connection, I think, for you at this time. So it could be that you're finding partners via your friends. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that this could mean for you, but either way, just remember, with Mars in the 7th house, the urge to, you know, reach out and build partnerships will be strong, and also the possibility of open enemies coming out of the woodwork are also strong. Okay. Well, much love and light to you, Cancer. May you have a beautiful February. Whatever happens in February, remember, it's all going to get better in late February and March, when the planets go into Pisces and they all start to trine Cancer. All right. And be sure that you take a moment to like and share our videos. Spread the word. Let people know we're here. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates whenever I'm adding new videos to the channel. Okay. Much love to you and many blessings. Bye, Cancer. Okay, so let me just get a sip here of something to drink. Okay, so next we have the sign of Leo. Leo. Hello, my wonderful Leos. I love you, Leos. I do love Leos. I do. I realize that. So here's the thing, Leos, you guys are, I always say, you're like the birthday party girls and boys this time, right? We've got the full moon happening in Leo. It's going to be in your first house, be at 20 degrees. And I think some Leos may get, well, overly emotional on the 9th. I would say between the 9th and maybe even as much as the 11th. I would say from the 8th, let's say from the 8th to the 11th. I really want Leos to be cautious of possibly, you know, just going crazy. It's hard to explain. My mother was a Leo, and I remember seeing my mom go off as a Leo when she got angry. I saw my mom push someone, like literally punch someone through a wall. My mother had crazy strength. And with the full moon in Leo, and you guys being, you know, you're so out and in your face when things happen, I just want you to be aware that if something sets you off, just to be cautious of that. But I think overall it's going to be positive. I think you guys are going to have a good time. It's going to be dramatic. You're going to have fun. Maybe out there performing on Leos, putting on shows, knowing Leos. Leos, you guys are amazing. I'm telling you, some of the most talented people I've ever met in my life were Leos. It's just a natural ability you have. It really is. And I think that with some of the emphasis going on here, like we've got that stellium of Capricorn planets that is happening in the 6th house, all Capricorn. It's Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto. And on the 16th, it'll have Mars there. And it's going to be in that 6th house. Now, Mars is moving out of the 5th into the 6th, because Mars has been in Sag. So up until the 16th, Mars is in your 5th house, Leo. I think when the moon is full in Leo on the 9th, by the way, it's a Sunday, I already checked. And Mars is, because it's late, by the way, right? 20 degrees. And Mars is going to be late in the 5th house in Sag. I think that's going to end up trining or being close to a trine. And I really think that there could be some romantic things going on for Leos. Leo's got some romance, I think. Leos, you might have been brewing and working on this romance for about 3-4 weeks now. And I think on the 9th, it might culminate. I really do. You know, when the full moon is in the second, or excuse me, the first, the sun in Aquarius is going to be in the 7th, which is partnerships. It's partnerships. And so, oh, and on top of that, there's a weird thing going on with Mercury. Mercury is retrograding. That is also the 16th. So it all happens the same day. So Mercury is going to be retrograding out of or going backwards from Pisces into Aquarius. In other words, it's in your 8th house, right? But it's going to go back into your 7th house of partnerships. You guys are going to be thinking about partnerships. If it's not partnerships, then it's enemies. And if it's not like business partnerships, then it's romantic partnerships. It's partnerships of all kinds. I see this. With the 8th house and all that Pisces going on there, you know, people hate it when I say it's sex, but it usually is. It is. But it could just be secrets. It could be just delving into a deeper psychological part of yourself because it's Pisces and it likes to go deep. Pisces likes to go deep. And the 8th house is a Scorpio house, which is trine Pisces. And so I could see some of you guys having some really deep, emotional, psychic like experiences, especially when the moon is full on the 9th in Leo. Really, I see that. This could definitely happen. Also, the North Node is in Cancer in the 12th house. So no matter, you know, Leos tend to come off like they're, I always say they're like knights in shining armor. They're always shining armor, no matter what they do. And they usually are kind of happy and jovial, though they don't usually show when they're emotional or, you know, they don't. They try to put on false bravado first because a Leo sad is a sad thing. And I've seen some sad Leos and it breaks your heart. So they tend to hide that a little bit because they are the party people in a way. But the North Node in the 12th house has been affecting Leos, I think, probably, you know, all year. It's just like something happening deep, subconscious, dealing with skeletons, maybe some hidden things, maybe some painful things. You guys have been dealing with some of that. Chiron's been in the 9th house, so that's dealing with hidden wounds, even in your philosophy or in your religion, stuff like that. Uranus has been in your 10th house and it's there now. And, you know, your career might have been a little just all over the place. Now, it, it's, it, with Uranus being in Taurus and not, say, in Aries or Gemini, or with sextile Leo, I just tend to think that there might have been some, I don't want to say upheaval, something different happened, I think, in your career, Leo. Something out of the blue, maybe, something unique, something different, something you didn't expect it, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you didn't expect it. It might not have happened yet, but when it does, you won't expect it. Whether it's positive or negative, it'll come out the blue. You'll be like, what? What? Maybe it's a promotion. I don't know. It depends on what you've been working on. And speaking of work, with that stellium of planets in Capricorn, you know, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and now we'll have Mars, all in that 6th house of work. I think some of you guys have been working on really hard on some projects. And I think the things that you've been working on with Jupiter there and Saturn there, these are stable projects, I think. Things that might help to stabilize your work life, even though Uranus is sitting up in the 10th, causing havoc. It could be something that you can do to stabilize it. Now, since Uranus is the natural ruler of Aquarius, And that's the 7th house of partnerships again. I'm seeing sudden out of the blue partnerships for Leo. I don't know why I keep thinking this. I do. It might even be someone that you meet at work. Maybe. Just thinking. Anyway, this is the vibes I get. I would say no matter what, I stay in touch with your trying to think of the right words. The inner core of you, the inner core of you that is uplifting and positive, the inner core of you where your heart is. The Leo rules the heart. And I want to make sure you guys stay in touch with that during this time. Because, I mean, with the sun being in Aquarius, and it's the opposite of Leo, you might have had enemies come at you. You might have had issues with your partnerships. You might have been accused of things that aren't even true with Uranus in the 10th. But whatever you do with that North Node in the 12th and that stellium of Pisces coming in the 8th, is I want you to stay true to your heart. If you have to, listen to meditation where you can strengthen your heart chakra. They have a lot of heart chakra like meditations and videos on YouTube. Whatever you can do to really keep your heart open and keep your just the expectation of joy, don't lose that. And I think if you stay positive in that way, between that Mars in the 5th and that full moon on you on the 9th, I do see something very positive that could happen for somebody else. You tap into that. I really believe it. Anyway, you guys, it was just something really quick I wanted to tell you for February, especially early February. There is going to be that new moon that comes up on the 23rd in Pisces too, by the way. And, I just wonder with the sun there and Mercury retrograding there and the new moon there and Neptune there, some of you might be reaching out and establishing a deeper connection. A connection that doesn't even, I don't think, will need words with Mercury retrograding. But yeah, to be interesting. All right. Well, much love and light to you, Leo. Please take a moment to like and share our videos and let the world know I'm here. I don't even know if anyone knows I'm here for half the time. So do that and be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you'll be aware whenever I'm making new videos and uploading. Okay? Much love to you, and may you have a beautiful February. Blessings. See here, I'm getting this urge to light the sage again. Now, I am about to do Virgo, but I gotta sage it. I don't know why. What's going on with you, Virgo? Let's see. So Virgo, I'm gonna pick up a crystal and a root. I picked up a crystal and a root. What's going on, Virgo? Come on. Crystal and a root and the sage. Well, I will say this. The one thing that is going on is that full moon that's coming up on the 9th is going on in Virgo's 12th house. That is the house of self-undoing. I talk about it all the time. And it is Leo, so it's going to be a bigger than life type of full moon. And I don't know what's, Virgo, I don't know what you could be possibly doing that could lead to, the undoing, right? Your downfall or your undoing or anything like that. But it's Leo, so I want you to be cautious of it. I want you to be cautious of um, of any of the Leo things that you could be doing that could be really affecting your life in a way. This is it, the 12th house, so that's it's like hidden skeletons in the closet. If any Virgos are having an affair, that would come out. I don't think you should do it either. But let me tell you something, Virgo. There's a stellium of planets in your fifth house. You've been dealing with this for a minute. I mean, love, romance, fifth house issues. We've got Saturn in the fifth house. We've got Pluto in the fifth house. We've got um, Jupiter in the fifth house. And on the 16th, we're going to have Mars in the fifth house for the sign of Virgo. And I really believe some Virgos have been dealing with love and romance issues. Um, Maybe even power plays and things like that when it comes to love and romance. I do think in a way that you might have been able to stabilize your romance because Saturn is stability. And I think that some Leos have stabilized their romance in a big way. And if you haven't, I would use this period of time to do that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Um, so the sun is in Aquarius, but soon it's going to go into Pisces on the 18th of February. It will. And when the sun goes into Pisces, it's going to go from your sixth house, because I'm sure a lot of Virgos have been working like whack, 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 whack. Virgos have been working, right? With the sun in the sixth house. But now it's going to go into the seventh house. And so the emphasis is going to be on your partnerships. This could be your romantic partnerships. This could be business partnerships. This could be all types of partnerships, okay? Relationships, partnerships, and things of that nature. Um, Mercury is going to retrograde, during the month. So starting on the 16th, Mercury begins to retrograde. And on the 18th, the sun goes into the seventh house. And on the 23rd, there's going to be a new moon in that seventh house. And that new moon in the seventh house is sextile that Uranus that's going to be in the ninth house. So there could be some, well, again, just emphasis on your partnerships. I'm thinking maybe this might deal with marriage in some way. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe. It's dealing with marriage. I will say with Neptune in the seventh house as well, if you do have any enemies, they're either confused about you or you're confused about them, or it's all confused about confusion. This is because this full moon that we're having on the 9th is in Leo, is in the 12th house, the natural house of Pisces. This is all tying together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle here. And so, I could see where this can all be tied together in some way. Um, just be aware of that. Like, I don't know if your enemies, I hope you don't have any, but if you do, I don't think they see you correctly or the situation or your partnership you know. Also, I think with so much emphasis in the seventh house, this could be that open enemies are like, they're out there. I think it might even come from the work that you do because, the sun's moving from the 6th to the 7th. The North Node is in Cancer in the 11th house in Cancer. So I'm thinking with the North Node in 11th, for you, Virgo, I hope that you approach everything with compassion and understanding. And even if it's an enemy or, someone comes out of pocket at you, just realize, see where, if, where their pain is or What is it that makes them do that before overreacting? You know, I don't want you to do that. Now, Venus is going to be in Aries, and that is going to be in your 8th house. I will say Venus in the 8th house, that is money. I think some Virgos are going to be getting money. And on the 20th, Jupiter is going to be sextile Neptune, and that I think is going to bring even more money. It's going to be money, I think, through partnerships. I think Virgos are going to be able to make some partnerships, establish them, especially as the new moon. That's when the partnerships are going to take off. And, you know, if you can work out any miscommunication, I'd be careful about miscommunication with partnerships with Neptune there and Mercury going retrograde on the 16th. Watch out for miscommunication, especially if you have any contracts with partners. That's the type of thing you want to watch out for. But overall, with Venus going into the 8th in Aries like that, that's money, positive money. I see it. That's good. Congrats. And with that 5th house stellium in Capricorn, you know, take chances. Take chances on love. Take chances on romance. Take chances on gambling. Take chances on your own business, your entrepreneurship. Take chances on you. Take chances on your children. You know, if you're going to take a chance, take the chance. Now, the only thing is, don't take it, I think, in anything hidden, underhanded, because the moon on the 9th is in the 12th house. Okay? Okay. Well, much love and light to you, Virgo. May you have a beautiful February 2020. And if you haven't already done it, take a moment to like and share our videos. Share our videos so people know we're here. The more people that know I'm here, the better it is. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified whenever I'm uploading new videos to this YouTube channel here. Okay? Okay. Many blessings to you. And happy Valentine's Day. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take another sip of tea. I got green tea in here. And I won't lie, I think I'm going to put the tea kettle on. I keep interrupting things, but this is a long reading because I'm going live because I'm scrambling at the last minute. So give me a second. Let me put the tea kettle on. And I'll be right back because I've got 6 more readings and I got 1 more reading of tea. Okay, so 1 second. I also put on some incense because I felt like I needed it. You know, it's so funny, you guys. Oof, my back. But I already know why that is too. I was born with Mars and Leo. So, and also Aquarius in the 1st house. But get myself together. Okay. The sun is like on my natal Saturn. And so for some reason, I just keep grounding and grounding and grounding and grounding. Like, I feel like, I don't know if there's someone sending out like juju vibes, but I keep grounding and protecting and saging. I'm like, I keep doing, I got incense going. I got on high John. I'm not playing right now. Okay. I'm protecting big time. Got my giant amethyst with me, everything with me. Okay, you guys. So next up, we've got the sign of Libra. And Libra, I want to warn you ahead of time, Libra, that I've got a tea kettle boiling and I've got sage burning. And I most likely will have to interrupt your reading to go and get that tea kettle. In fact, before I go any further, it sounds like it's about to boil. I'm going to go get that tea kettle now. And before I even get started. So give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, so thanks to the magic of video editing, I should be able to edit out most of all of this time I had to go and do these things. So you guys, let me go ahead and start again for the sign of Libra, okay? Hello, Libra, Libra, Libra. This is Adrienne Obi, Capricorntigress of astrologyaLookInside.com. And I'm coming to you with your, February horoscope. A little late on that February horoscope, but I am here for you, Libra. So, Libra, there is some emphasis going on in your work life. Your home life and your work are taking precedence right now. You've got a huge stellium that's going to be happening in Pisces and your sixth house of work. And that could be health. It could be health. I'm just thinking it's most likely the sixth house of work. And also there is that stellium that's still going down in the fourth house in Capricorn. There's Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and on the 16th, we'll have Mars there. It's in your fourth house. That's home and family, security, comfort, your stability, your foundation. I think with Saturn and Pluto there anyway, and Jupiter, I think that's establishing a strong, positive, happy foundation for yourself and your family. And that's a good thing. As of, there is one thing that kind of, I think is a little bit weird for some Libras. And that's that, okay, the sun is in Aquarius, and that's in your fifth house. And that's been there for, it's going to be leaving Aquarius on the 18th and going into Pisces. But on the 9th, which is just 5 days from now, there's going to be a full moon in Leo. And that full moon, that full moon in Leo is going to be opposing that sun in your fifth house in Aquarius. So the full moon is occurring in the 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, friends, groups, organizations, associations. The sun is going to be in the fifth house of love, romance, children, taking chances, dating, that type of thing, entrepreneurship, but they're at odds with each other. So you may find that your romance may be affected by your friendships or the groups you belong to, or maybe something that you are pursuing, or a goal or a desire that you have that somehow is interfering or competing with your relationship, or maybe your time with your kids, or some scenario that may be like that. And I really can sense that when it comes to like the time with the kids type thing, since all that emphasis is in the fourth house of the mother. Also, the North Node is in Cancer, and that is up in the 10th house. It's funny because for you, Libra, it's opposite. Normally, Capricorn's in the 10th, Cancer's in the 4th. But either way, we're still dealing with issues of the mother and the father, and our foundation and our stability and our outward, reputation, that type of thing. So I hope that you work through that, and that you are showing a deep compassion to members of your family, in particular during this time, your children. Leo is a sign that rules children naturally, and it is the natural ruler of the 5th house. So that emphasis in children and love is no fluke. And if you're being urged to pursue love now, or being pursued by love, I hope you don't run from it. I hope you don't run from it. Because Venus, which is the natural ruling planet of Libra, is going into the 7th house. And the funny thing, I think it just went into it yesterday. And the funny thing about that is that it's not going to be in Libra, but in Aries, which is the opposite, again, opposite of where it should be, right? So the funny thing is that it's still Venus, and it's still the 11th house. And therefore, Libra, it's still under your domain. And I think that some Libras may encounter some love over the next couple of weeks. If you're not in a love relationship, I see some Libras maybe experiencing it. I mean, I just feel that instinctively. And if not now, and I think when Mars leaves Capricorn and goes into Aquarius, you're definitely going to feel it. But I really think you're going to feel it now. With that Venus in Aries like that in your 7th house, urge to love and to be loving in your partnerships is great now. So I can see some Libras really showing a lot of love and compassion. And I think you're going to be known for it, by the way, because North Node is up in Cancer in the 10th. It shows what you're known for, your reputation. And in your case, it's compassion and caring. So beautiful. It really is. I think one thing I will say, until that Mars goes into the 4th house, it's in the 3rd. Right now, Libra, I just want you to, it's Sag, it's sextile you. So, open up, express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself. I think you can do that. And do that now, because after Mars gets into Capricorn, you may not feel like you want to open up as much. I mean, Capricorn is square Libra. And Mars, eventually I think that Mars and Venus are going to be square each other, because Mars is in the 4th and the Venus is in Aries in the 7th. And I just think it's going to set up a square. In fact, I think it's going to be a T-square, because the North Node is going in to the lower numbers. It's already at 7. And so they're all going to try. I can tell it's going to be like not a T-square, but like a grand trine. Right? Yeah. No, it's a T-square. It's a T-square, sorry. T-square. I looked at the full moon there and it threw me off. Because conversely, we almost have, like, if that Aries Venus was in the later degrees, then we would have had a grand trine with the Mars going into Capricorn, because it's in the late degrees of Sag, and that's going to be trining that the late degree moon that we're going to have on the 9th. So it's interesting times, very much so. I would communicate. I would definitely communicate to my friends. I would be open to love and friendships. And I would love my children and let them know I care. I would take chances, and I would show compassion and stabilize my home and make sure that, you know, there's no possibility of any kind of, um, I don't know, I'm just thinking electrical, maybe. I don't know why that came to me. I don't know, I got fire and electrical. Be careful of that. I mean, you know, I really, I don't see that. I think there's so much Pisces, I don't see that. But, you know, Mars in the 4th house, you know, after the 16th, that's what Mars in the 4th house usually does. So be careful of that. Some aggression or maybe, you know, almost explosive activity at home, like fights or fires, that type of thing. So be careful. Could just be you guys are, you're just going to be more into your home and family over the next month. So, all right. Well, good luck with that, Libra, and many blessings to you. Uh, I if you can, take a moment to like and share the video. Share the video. Let the world know we're here. Subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified whenever I'm uploading new videos. And I thank you for taking the time to, you know, to sit through this. And I hope that it resonated with you some way. I will say that Uranus is in your 2nd house. You know, it's in Taurus. It's been there for a minute. But your money, other people giving you money or money, that might be affected too. Okay. All right, Libra, many blessings and happy Valentine's Day. So up next, I have the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio. I love you, Scorpios. I always say that, but it's true. It's because I got Venus in Scorpio and Neptune in Scorpio is all in my 10th house. So, you know, Scorpio, that full moon in Leo coming up on the 9th in a few days, that is happening in your 10th house. That means that full moon, you know, that full moon is always, I think, emotion. It shows possible emotions and stuff like that. But for you, it's, you know, it's all going to be almost like everyone's going to be able to see it. Like whatever emotion that is, it'll be interesting, I think, because the sun's going to be down in the 4th house and the full moon's going to be, you know, up in the 10th. And it just showing, it could just be exuberance. I mean, that's possible too. I also see a possibility of extreme creativity. Extreme creativity. I kid you not. That's going to be my final verdict. Extreme creativity. Scorpios, you're going to be extremely creative. Extremely. I'll tell you why. Like I said, the full moon is going to be happening in your 10th house. It's in Leo. Leo rules creativity. It also rules children and love, but creativity. And it's going to be full. And it's your career. Excuse me. So creativity in your career is definitely a definite thing there. But Venus is also going into Aries in the 6th house of, you know, Aries is your 6th house here. And so Venus in work, that shows creativity in work. So you've got creativity in the career, creativity in your reputation, creativity in your image, and creativity in your work, creativity on the way you handle your health. And as if that wasn't enough, then Pisces, the sign of creativity too, but spiritual type creativity, like a mystical almost creativity. Well, that's in the 5th house, which is the natural house of Leo, which is sitting up in your 10th house. So, you know, the sun's going to be there, Neptune's going to be there, the new moon's going to be there on the 23rd. Mercury's retrograding there, by the way, as well, going back toward your fourth house. But this is extreme creativity, like extreme. You might find that you get these crazy ideas on something that you want to do, or just like, I don't know, you might even get like an entire book in your head. Like, I'm just thinking some of you Scorpios are going to be very creative. Like when I said book, I kid you not, because Saturn is in the third house, Pluto is in the third house, Jupiter is in the third house, and on the 16th, Mars is going to be in the third house. That's communication. And the North Node is in the ninth. Been there all year. It's going to be interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, there is Uranus at 2 degrees in the 7th house. And I am, I would just be careful about partnerships, open enemies. That could be possible. And it would be out of the blue. I don't think you would be expecting it. It would take you by surprise, I think, because you're not expecting any kind of open enemies or any kind of weirdness happening in your own relationships, like in your personal relationships or partnerships. And that is possible. And that could throw you off because it would come out of the blue. It's not something you would be expecting. I will say that with the North Node in the ninth and that Uranus in the 7th, these two are probably going to make a sextile soon, as well as the sun going into Pisces. I can see that. So maybe later on in the month, we're going to be seeing this water trine, the sextile to the Uranus. Be careful of that. That's like your 9th house, your 7th, your 5th. It's all creative. It could be love, unexpected love, partnership. Oh, I just got a vibe of some people running off and getting married suddenly. Uranus in the 7th, it could happen. Be aware of it. Just know the possibility is there with Uranus. It's sudden, unexpected things. And I think with Venus being because Venus is going to conjunct Chiron, like I think it is right now. And that's in the 6th house, but that's like healing, like your health and your work and stuff like that. And anyway, Venus is the natural ruler of Taurus, so I was just looking at it from that viewpoint. But Libra is also another sign that it rules, and that's in the 12th. So it's, I don't know why I just keep thinking, be careful about it. All right. All right. So you guys, overall, I just see creativity. Be careful on the 9th. Don't get too explosive in your career, because some Scorpios might go, I don't know why I always think about Oprah Winfrey in The Color Purple, like all my life I've been doing, just going off. Don't do that. I've done that before. I don't know if I recommend Scorpios do that. I mean, but with Capricorn in the 3rd house and you know, Cancer in the 9th, and it's the moon, it's a full moon, right? You'll want to express. You'll want to say it. You'll want to, it may be hard to not say it, whatever it is. Like whatever it is that, all's my life, like whatever that is. I would just walk away. I mean, with Chiron in the 6th like that, and because it's a full moon, which means it's temporary. I mean, it's not that there's not problems in your work, but that urge to get out there and just like knock them dead and just tell everybody off, that full moon urge, that's temporary. So if you can fight it, then you don't have to scramble to make up for it after the fact, as you would, by the way. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, Scorpio, this has just been my take on where the planets are and how they may affect you. Of course, all my readings are general, so if it doesn't resonate, try someone else. But I'm just looking at where the aspects are and how it could possibly affect you. and the area of life and where they could happen. So, you know, watch the communication and no explosive activity at work. Creative activity is good. Okay. How'd you love and light, dear Leo or Scorpio? See, I got Leo in the mind still. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like and share our videos. The more people that know I'm here, the better. And every share makes a huge difference. Also, take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that whenever I'm uploading new horoscopes and things like that, you guys will know about it. All right. So many blessings to you and happy Valentine's Day, Scorpio. I see so much fifth house emphasis. The love, the potential for love for Scorpio is high. Because you know, Leo rules the fifth house naturally. So that's love. And then you got Neptune in the fifth house. You'll have the new moon in the fifth house. You'll have Mercury in the fifth house. You'll have the sun in the fifth house. It's a lot, the fifth house. Okay. So just saying, children in love figure prominently for your horoscope. Many blessings. Let me get a sip before I go on, you guys. Give me one second. I put lemon in this as well because I don't know what it's like where you are, but it is so chilly in Seattle. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Okay, let me just do this here. Oh, I'm supposed to be in a master class. I better hurry up. How to generate leads on autopilot. Really? I'm supposed to be there in 2 minutes. What? It's at 10 a.m. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, guys, I'm so sorry. I've got 4 of these. I'm not going to stop. So I just want to check what I've committed to. Okay, I don't need to do that. Although I thank her for inviting me. Okay, so let's see here what we've got here. Let's go on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, let's see here. So Sagittarius, the full moon is falling in your 9th house. That's travel, education, dogma, philosophy, religion, legal, political. You know, was it like legal, philosophical, religious, political, educational, all of that, publishing. Um, all of those things are indicated by the 9th house. I always put spirituality and I always put psychic ability when I look at the 9th house. I look at the 9th and 8th house and 12th houses for spiritual, like for psychic ability. If I don't see emphasis in the 9th, 8th, and 12th houses, I dare say, I don't know if I believe in the spirituality. Or Scorpio or Pisces. I think these are vital for psychic activity, these connections like that. And in your case, you know, we've got a lot of things going on. Sagittarius are more, not that they're not religious, some are very religious. They're very cause oriented. But whatever the cause is, it might be religion, it might not be religion, it might be something else. But whatever that cause is, if Saggy believes in that cause is everything. Okay, so to a Sag, they don't play around like that. And you've got the full moon in the 9th house in Leo on the 9th of February. And the ninth house is the natural house of Sagittarius. And on top of that, the moon in Leo is trine Sagittarius. It's a positive connection. Very much so. So you guys have a really amazing thing, I think, that, that's happening. The full moon is trine Mars in Sagittarius, because Mars is in Sag. It's about to go into Capricorn on the 16th. But on the 9th, it's going to be in the late degrees of Sag, as is that full moon. So they will be trine. And that is coming from your first house, Sagittarius. That's like action. Mars is like action and aggression and asserting yourself. And with having Mars in your first house over the last month or so, few weeks or whatnot, I think that some Sagittariuses have become more bolder. They've taken control of their lives. They grab the reins that they might have dropped. Because some Sagittariuses, that will, Saggies are like horses. They're centaurs. And they'll, there's nothing sadder than seeing a horse that doesn't run. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you guys had Mars in your first house, because some of you guys relearned how to run. It's beautiful. And what I mean by that is some Saggies really have put forth effort, I think, in pursuing their goals, their dreams, their desires, their deepest wishes. Just being themselves. I hate to think of it like, I don't know how many of you are into tarot, but I'm trying to think of what card it is. There is this one tarot card, I talked about it in one of my readings, and it's got looks like a unicorn in a tiny little pen. And it's just laying there like, I can't get out. But if it stood up, I could just walk over it, probably. And I think some Saggies have been going through that, where they lost their ability to run, to fly, to believe. I think with Mars in the first house, you reestablish that. Also, the sun's been in Aquarius. It's been sextile Sagittarius. It's been really supporting you, buoying you up on your desires and being yourself. I think that's a very good thing. Also, Aquarius, the sun has been in Aquarius with sextile Sag, and that's been in the third house, which I think has also helped you guys to communicate what it is that you want as well. Sorry. I have, according to Eastern astrology, I have Sag rising, and I'm a Sag. It says I'm a double Sag in Eastern astrology. And I'm going to tell you about what that was and why I'm mentioning it to you right now. So Sagittarius, we've got, and I'm going to say we, because if I look at it from the Eastern standpoint, right? Saturn in the second house of money, Pluto in the second house of money, Jupiter in the second house of money, and as of 16, that Mars I was just talking about is going to move from your first house and go into the second house of money. And on the other side, the North Node in Cancer sits in the 8th house of money. That's other people money, or trying to get money or give you money. They're usually giving you money. So the call I just got is from a place called Monterey Financial. And they are representatives for some makeup thing that they spray on your face. I had seen a commercial and got it. It said you could try it for 2 weeks for $19 in a bag, no questions asked. I sent it back. I tried it one time. It looked like a piece of war paint on my face. I sent it back. As you can see, I'm very particular about my skin, and I would never use that. It had no value to me. So I sent it back as asked. And they had tried to send me some kind of makeup, but what good is the makeup if you don't have the product? So I sent that back too. Well, here it is 2 years later, and they were trying to dun me for this. And I've been fighting it the whole time. Never once have I conceded, and never will I. And that's who that was. That second house of our money. We don't mess with our money, Sag, and not right now. With Saturn in the second house and Pluto in the second house, I will take this to my grave. It will be a cold day in heck before they get a cent out of me. I'm going to make sure I get on the TransUnion and Equifax and all those other places where you got to let them know, but I'm not paying them. I even said that to the guy at Credit Karma. I'm like, you understand what never means? Never. On the list of things that I need to do, that is 1,065,000. They are never getting out of me, and they need to be put out of business because their ad was false pretense. Anyway, Sag, I brought this up because you guys might be getting calls like that, and with Saturn in the second house of money, there may be people out there trying to get your money that they don't deserve, and money that you ain't willing to give up. So if you have to protect your money, Saturn in the second house is protect your money. Mars going into the second house is fight for your money. Protect your money, fight for your money, and know you can get more money because Jupiter's there and Pluto is there. We're going to be able to manifest money. We're going to transform whatever a financial situation is and make the money. But you know what we ain't going to do? We ain't going to give our money away to shysters like that. That's what we're not going to be doing. This is a serious thing. And some Saggies may be expert. You may know exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about Saturn in the second house. Saturn in the second house, thank God it only happens only 28 years, every 28 years, but it is no joke. It is, you either are working hard for the money. I gotta say it. She works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey. She works hard for the money, so you better treat her right. Yes. Anyway, you're working hard for the money. And you ain't going to just give up your money to somebody like that. Understand what I'm saying? Saturn in the second house makes you serious about the money. Okay? Now, you got the sun in the third house in Aquarius, but let's not forget the moon's going to be in the ninth house. Your house, Saggy, opposing that sun in Aquarius. So, with the moon in your house, I think that there could be some emotions on the 9th. So I want you to be aware of that. Could get emotional. It could be about money. But most likely, I think it'll be about maybe love. Because Chiron is in Aries in your 5th house. And Venus is going into the 5th house. So there could be some emotion about love and romance. That is a definitive possibility. Also, I can see that, the moon is the natural ruler of the 4th, and it also is the natural ruler of Cancer, the moon, and Cancer's in the 8th. But what's going on in your 4th house, which is the natural home of the moon, is there's going to be a new moon on the 23rd of February in Pisces. And we got the sun going into Pisces on the 18th, Mercury going into Pisces on the 16th, Mercury retrograding in Pisces on the 16th. It's already there, but it's retrograding. It's going to go all the way back to Aquarius. So there's a lot going on. And let's not forget that Uranus is in your 6th house. Okay. Your 6th house. So that's the way I want you to be careful about the way you're eating. I mean, because, the moon also rules food too, because it's Cancer food. But the 6th house is health. So it could be work, but it could be health. So I would say with Uranus there and it's Taurus, You know, it all ties in together. So be cautious about the way you're eating, or be cautious, of course, about your money. Um, your home life is going to be affected, and so is maybe your philosophies and the way you look at things, your religion. You know, there might even be some legal things that come up around the ninth. Just be aware of it so that it doesn't take you off guard if it should crop up. Okay. So, Sag, this is just a brief, you know, just a look at where the planets are, as I always do. And just wanted to tell you where the emphasis is. For you, really, overall, the money, the home, the money, security, the money, stability, the money, family, the money. Okay? All right, Saggy. Much love and light to my Saggy brothers and sisters. And if you haven't already done it, take a moment to like and share our videos. And I've been telling everyone this because it's true. The more you share the videos, the more people know I'm here. So please do that. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get updated whenever I'm doing lives and, you know, uploading new videos and stuff to YouTube. Blessings to you. So let's see. Up next, we've got Capricorn. And I said, you know, I'm Sag. I always call them my brothers and sisters, but because in Eastern astrology and over in Europe, I guess I would be a Sag in a way, but I am a Capricorn. January 5th is my birthday. So according to Western astrology, I'm a Capricorn all day, and I have Capricorn rising. So I feel more than like this is my job, I think, to instruct my Capricorn brothers and sisters. Like this is it. This is what I'm going to do right here. So Capricorns, we got a lot going on, right, Caps? Because there's a lot of planets in Capricorn, and we've had Mars in Sagittarius in our 12th house, messing with our 12th house, messing with our subconscious mind, messing with our belief in ourselves, messing with our exuberance and our joy, you know, making us doubt ourselves and all the things that, you know, if we have the ability, I can honestly say I've been thinking about things that are legal, like, you know, getting divorced and all that kind of stuff. These are the issues that might have been going on. Also, there's a lot of Capricorn going on. You know, we have a lot going on in Capricorn. And so I think we're all being directly affected by uh, these Capricornian planets. There's Saturn in Capricorn, there's Jupiter in Capricorn, there's Pluto in Capricorn. But on the 16th, there's going to be Mars in Capricorn. We're going to have Mars in our first house. And you know, it's funny, Mars anywhere else it doesn't always come off so aggressive. But when Mars gets into the first house, it always tends to make other people feel like we're being aggressive. Sometimes we're simply being assertive, but it's easy for other people to look at the way we come off and think that we're being aggressive. So be aware of that, that we may be coming off in a way that might even be scary to other people. I had, you know, I know you guys probably don't, many of you don't follow me on Facebook, I guess, or you do. I don't know how much you know about me, right? But I had my hypnotist, Scott Bob. He had said to me one day, he's like, "You realize that just being you could scare some people." And I thought, what? He's like, "Yeah, because if they're not ready to accept where you are, or they're not able to, how did he put it? Like if they can't, I guess it's almost like they're ashamed in a way. Like if you're growing and they're not, I guess that's what it is. It can scare people. Like let's say for instance, it's like someone that knew you really, really well. And you were always one type of person. And then, well, you changed. Or you grew, or you became more magnanimous. It scares people because they only know that one you. And we have many incarnations, but not everyone can keep up with all the various incarnations that we we have. So in our case, Capricorn in particular, it's harsh. I think because we've had Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn being our ruler, Pluto being like the great transformer. Who we were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we are not that person anymore. And we're still changing. And it could be that the change is like growing in power or growing in stature. And that alone is really daunting to a lot of people. And they may not know how to handle it or the change that is happening for you. So this may have been really hard for some Caps. I know it's been really hard for me. And I'm almost afraid to have this Mars go through my first house. Because the last time Mars went through my first house that I recall was in 2018. And I lost my marriage. I stood up for myself. I said I deserve better. These are key code words, the words that represent Capricorn. I deserve better. And guess what, Capricorn? You deserve better. And not from some, like, like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, vain or anything like that. No. You deserve better simply because you're freaking Capricorn and you put in the work. You deserve it. You don't deserve to be dishonored, disrespected. Most Capricorns are honorable people. And I'm tired of people putting down Capricorns, calling us the devil. Ain't never been, as far as I know, most of some of the most stable people I have ever met have been Capricorns. And so I take offense to it, really, as a double Capricorn. I'm kind of stable. And so I don't get it. I've seen some real devils out there and they ain't been Capricorns. So let's just be aware that, some people may be seeing us like devils. And we're thinking, what? Why? I'm going to give this one example. And this, I'm going to shame the devil right now. Kobe died. And when Kobe died, I went and I looked, Kobe Bryant, to see what Kobe's birthday was, because I had never really looked up Kobe, really. And when I got his birth chart, I was shocked. Kobe had Capricorn rising. Almost all of his first house was Capricorn. I think it started at 7 degrees. Kobe had a Taurus moon. And he was a Virgo with his sun in the 8th. And he had Uranus, sitting pretty much on his midheaven. So that's what happened with the helicopter. Uranus sitting up on Uranus up on the top like that is never, we won't go into that. But after Kobe passed, I heard some things that should not have been said. We should never speak ill of the dead like that. I cut off a couple of readers, because of the things that were said. Regardless of what he might have done 10, 15, 20 years ago, that man died with his child. I don't want to hear a negative thing said about that. That's horrific. How dare you? How dare anyone defile him after he died? If you couldn't say it when he was alive, you shouldn't be saying it after he's gone. And the poor child, saying things about the wife. Ugh, it's disgusting. People were pretty gross. And let me just tell you something, Caps. for some reason, people feel that they have a right to defile us that way. I've heard more negative things about Capricorn than any other sign. And I have yet to meet a Capricorn that really lives up to that. I met some Libras and Geminis that do, some Leos and Scorpios that do, some Aquariuses that do. You know, I ain't never felt a Capricorn that's like y'all make them out to be. Capricorns are responsible. They usually care about their families, or they usually care about something. And there usually is a certain modicum of like, I don't know, I can't put it, like they have a certain modicum of respect about them. Even Kobe, no matter what he might have been doing in private, he always came to work. He did a good job for years, 24 years in a row. He had that family. He raised those kids. He did the best he could, regardless of what he did in his private life. That's none of our business. And wow, it's just sad when I see that. And I will not do that to you, Capricorn, because I'm a Capricorn. It's one of my pet peeves. People do that, and I feel like they're just all jumping on the gravy train. They obviously don't know anything about a real Capricorn. Maybe it's because of what I'm doing right now. See, look at this. What am I doing? I'm expressing our truth. Most people don't express truth. They don't. They lie. They hide. They use veils, right? There's veils. And I think Capricorn just is in your face, like we are who we are. I don't think there's a hidden agenda. I think that's part of it. We're just real. That's what Earth is. Earth, the salt of the earth. We're just real. What are we hiding? There is none. This is it. And so I think it throws people off, and it causes, and we won't even get into the jealousy Capricorns, because that's part of it. Capricorns usually do very well in their careers. They usually do well in work and career. And I think that's part of it as well, that it causes anonymity because of that. So Caps, be aware of this, because Mars is going to be going into the first house in Capricorn. I know I was long and roundabout to say it. I'm probably spending more time on you than everybody else, but with Mars going into the first house, and right now it's in the 12th. So up until the 16th, it's literally in the house of self-undoing. Like even me right now talking about this cause, or, this thing that I'm doing, some people might be like, why is she talking about that cause? That type of thing. It could be that we believe in causes or philosophies or things that can be our undoing. Now, I can give you an example of something I did that might be my undoing. I already know. So I was in charge of this thing where I invited all these women to participate with me in this thing that I was holding for a group I'm a monitor of. And there were a group of women that volunteered, and we had such a good experience. I thought, okay, let's make a private group so that we can maybe stay together and connect with each other and do things on a private level, and maybe see if we can help actually promote each other, and as a team of women, small team. But I'm thinking, since I belong to a larger whole, maybe they'll get mad that I want to create a smaller little group that's not really connected. I almost feel like building the smaller group that's not connected with others, but just like our own little work cell. I think that's vital. And so maybe my mindset is different, and that could create a problem, and I'm aware of it. And so it's little things like that can create the issues. Not that we've done anything to go out, to start problems or create issues, but it's seeing things from a different viewpoint. And usually it's got something to do with work or career, because Capricorntigress, me, I'm a Capricorn, but Capricorns in general, we tend to see the big picture. In fact, Mars in Capricorn, the I'm not kid you not. When you look up the definition of Mars in Capricorn, it's like you see the big picture. Like business wise, we see the big picture. And I can't tell you how frustrating it must be to see the big picture, but no one like wants you to pursue the big picture, or they don't, no one else wants to see the big picture too, because they're caught up in whatever they're caught up in. So this could be part of the issue. And let's not forget Saturn's in the first house, and Jupiter, and and uh, and Pluto. So Jupiter, weight gain. Saturn restriction. I made a video about this. I'm gonna upload it. It's the combination of I want to eat, and no, I gotta lose weight, right? So it's the combination of that. And Pluto is change and power. I'll just say this, because I didn't even mean to spend so much time on the first house, but Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for a minute, okay? And I need you guys to understand something. Whatever power that's been bestowed upon you during this Pluto period, it grew within you. It's yours. It's been bestowed upon you for a reason. It's your power to exercise it, hopefully in a very positive way. But don't hide your power. And with all this emphasis in the first house, my gosh, don't hide your light. Not with Mars going into the first house on the 16th. Don't hide your power and your light with Jupiter in the first house and Pluto in the first house and our ruler in the first house. They might not like you being in control or rising or whatever it is you're doing, but you can't hide now. Okay, I needed to let you know that. Some Caps may have been experiencing some money. The sun is in the second house. It's going to be there until the 18th. That's our money house. And there is going to be a full moon on the 9th opposing the sun. And that's going to be in the 8th house. That's other people's money or other people giving us money. And it's the full moon. So I hope that you are looking at ways that you can get money from others, or especially if you're in business or something of that nature. Also, there is a stellium in the third house of communication, which is why I sat here and talked about my little philosophy so long. But Pisces, we're going to have the sun in Pisces as of the 18th. We'll have Mercury in Pisces going retrograde as of the 16th. And we'll have a new moon in Pisces as of the 23rd at 4 degrees. And let's not forget, Neptune is there. So yeah, I might be talking and it might just seem a little like out there maybe, or like bigger than life. That's another way it manifests. But I see that, I see where our potential can be. And with Jupiter in the first house, Capricorns, this is not the time to hold back. It's not. We only get Jupiter in like the 10th house and 11th house and first houses, which to me are the best houses to have them in, every 12 years. So once it leaves our first house, it won't be back for 12 years. The good thing is when it leaves our first house, it's going in our second house of money. So that I'm happy about. But take advantage of Jupiter in the first house. Take advantage of finding the joy inside of you. That's what this Jupiter in the first house is allowing us to do. And with this Mars coming into Capricorn in the first house, my goodness, all the energy that we thought we didn't have, we're going to have a little bit of energy. As of the 16th, I've been waiting to get, I'm telling you, I don't know how many of you have been sleeping, but with that Mars in Sagittarius in my 12, and it, is squaring so much of the Pisces, I've been sleeping. So, and if I'm not sleeping, the desire to sleep is there. I've had to just like force myself to get up, on some days. Now, I'm going to end by saying this. Communicate. Okay, that new moon on the 23rd is really going to put the emphasis on communications, by the way. Venus is moving into the 4th house. We can beautify our homes, Caps. We got Uranus in the 5th house, so our romances are still crazy. They're still up in the air. I don't know what's going on with them, Lord. I don't even know if I want to deal with it anymore. It's the way I feel about romance. Romance has been so crazy. And the North Node is in Cancer in the 7th house. That's still happening. It's North Node's at 7 degrees. And, you know, it's just compassion to your partner. I hope you guys have been exercising that. Okay. So anyway, let's not forget that full moon on the 9th. That's going to be in the 8th house. Let's not forget it because it's major. That full moon is major. Okay, that's money. And I hope you take advantage of it, Cap. All right. Much love and love light to you, my Capricorn brothers and sisters. Sorry I went on a rant there, but you know, I had stuff to tell y'all. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like and share the videos. And remember that every video you share lets people know I'm here. Because so many people don't know I exist. And I really want to make sure that people do. I put my heart and soul into what I do. And I love what I do. I've been studying astrology since I was just a wee young girl, 16 years old. And here it is. I'm over 55 now. So it's my life. It's my life. So anyway, you guys, much love and light to you. Be sure to subscribe. And happy Valentine's Day. Many blessings. Let me just get a sip of this tea before I go on, you guys. Give me a second here. And I'm glad I did you guys first thing in the morning instead of waiting till later after my voice is ragged, because it started out bad, but it's getting better as I talk, so that's good. So up next, we have the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius, you guys have the sun in the 1st house right now, and it's going to be there until the 18th of February. And so you do have a lot of emphasis in, you know, your body, your physical self, your image, like your reputation in a way, but just like your personality, like what people see when they think of you or when they see you, what they physically see when they see you. So it could be like you're just you, the outer part of you. I happen to have Aquarius in the 1st house, so this is all happening in my 1st house. And you know, for some people, they might feel like, wow, it's just seeing her for the first time. So it's just one of those things. Now, there is a stellium of Capricorn planets happening in the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of self-undoing. And some Aquariuses, I think, may be self-undoing for whatever reason. I don't know why you're self-undoing. But I can see that some Aquariuses may be self-undoing. And, you know, Saturn's there, Pluto's there, Jupiter's there, and Mars is going to go there. I think you might be fine until Mars gets there on the 16th, and then all hell will break loose. It's all happening hidden. There's secrets. I mean, it could be internal secrets, but it could be actual external secrets. You guys got secrets. You do. So, and if it's not you, it could be coming from, say, a partner who has secrets. I want you to be aware of that. There is going to be a full moon in Leo in your 7th house of partnerships as of the 9th. That's just 5 short days from now. So if you have suspicions of something like that, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I wouldn't say you're right for sure, but you know, the 12th house is hidden stuff. A lot of times I find when there's a lot of 12th house going on, someone is being cheated on or cheating on. It just happens. Now, luckily, there's nothing in the 5th house, so I don't see that being you, Aquarius. I don't. It could be, but I don't see it, okay? But there is that full moon, as I mentioned, in the 7th house. So the urge to reach out to other people and partners and, you know, build extra relationships because it's Leo, the lover, that could really come into play around the 8th or 9th or 10th. So I would just keep my eye on my partner if I was you, Aquarius, especially if they're a Leo, Lord. Also, there is a stellium happening in the second house. This is Pisces for you. There is a lot going on in Pisces. We've got the sun going into Pisces on the 18th. Mercury goes retrograde in Pisces on the 16th. Neptune is in Pisces. And there's going to be a new moon in Pisces on the 23rd. Just says, can you see that? California. Why would I just end? Oh, you didn't see it. Wait a minute. California. Why would I just pick up California? What? Oh, no, you. Craziness. A lot of craziness happening during this call, which is funny in my mind because I have Uranus in the third house and my natal chart's in the third house. And while I've been making these videos, I've had more interruptions. It's so Uranus in the third house. It's hilarious. So speaking of Uranus, it's in the fourth house for Aquarius, and Venus is going to be in your third house, Aquarius, in the sign of Aries. I think that's good because you've had Chiron in the third house. I think some Aries, Aquariuses may have been trying to heal like wounds and pains when it comes to communication. Some may have felt like people don't listen to me. I can't get my word across. No one takes me seriously. And I think Chiron in the third has been helping you to work through that, whatever that is. But I will say this, with Capricorn being hidden in the 12th and all this Pisces happening in the second house, well, it could just be that you got a power behind the throne. There might be power within you that others can't see. It could be that your power occurs when you're sleeping at night. I mean, after all, the 12th house rules sleeping and subconscious, unconscious thoughts, motivations, all of that. So it just could be, Aquarius, that you're getting your greatest inspiration in your sleep. And that, since the sextile Pisces, will lead to money. Oh, interesting. I love it. You also have the North Node in the sixth house. So, there could be some emphasis in your work, but it just tells me that would be the area that you need to focus on with the North Node there. So it could be your health, your work. If that seems to be an issue, focus on it, because that's what the North Node is asking you to do. Don't avoid it. If there is something wrong with your health or your work, don't avoid it. The North Node wants you to take care of that. All right. All right, you guys. Well, much love and light to you, Aquarius. And this has just been a quick take on, where these planets are. Again, the full moon on the 9th, 20 degrees of Leo in your 7th house. And the new moon on the 23rd, 4 degrees of Pisces in your 2nd house of money. All right? Okay. So Aquarius, much love and light to you. Please take a moment to like and share our videos. And, the more you share the videos, the more people know that I exist here. And then also be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you know whenever I'm uploading new videos or when I'm going live, and you can, get more out of it that way once you know what I'm up to. Okay. All right. Much love and light to you, Aquarius, and many blessings to you, and happy Valentine's Day. Okay. I'll take one more sip here. So this wasn't too bad. It's not even 10 o'clock, and I am almost done. We are now moving on to the sign of Pisces. Hello, Pisces. This is Adrienne Obi, Capricorntigress of astrology.com. And I am coming to you with your February 2020 horoscope overview for the month of February. And it's going to be a very interesting month for you, Pisces, because there's going to be a lot of emphasis in Pisces in February. We've got the sun in Aquarius. in your 12th house. Okay. That's going to be there till the 18th. So there is emphasis in your 12th house. And, you know, okay, how can I put this? Aquarius is, I don't mind Aquarius is normally, because I got Aquarius in my first house. But Aquarius in the 12th house with the sun there like that, I mean, it could be coldness, right? It could be some confusion and coldness because it well, first of all, it's cold air, but it's the sun in the 12th house of self-undoing. And it's, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It's sudden, unexpected, erratic activity. And when I think about where the ruler of Aquarius is, it's in, it's Uranus, it's in Taurus, and it's in the third house. So that's sextiles Pisces, by the way. So it's almost like it gets a green light from Pisces, but it's in the third house. That's communication. So that could be something unexpected in communication, something unexpected in your local neighborhood, something unexpected from your extended family members, don't forget that, or something unexpected like travel, communication, that type of thing. So I would just keep my eye on that for, you know, at least for the next 5 years. Uranus in the third house ain't no fun, man. It's craziness. Setting car pileups and stuff like that. We don't like that. Um, Pisces, you've got a stellium in your first house. Okay, so you have Neptune in the first house. You've had that for a while, but the sun goes there on the 18th. We've got the new moon going into Pisces on the 23rd at 4 degrees of Pisces. And then we've got Mercury retrograding as of the 16th at 12 degrees of Pisces going backwards. And it's not going to station direct until it's at 28 degrees of Aquarius. So it's going to go all the way back to Aquarius. And I think that mindset, like it's almost like the mindset is going backwards. And you might have to watch out for that because it's almost like you're backtracking, backpedaling. It's going to go back into the 12th house, like going back into hiding. And I don't know if you need to go into hiding. I think this is a time for you to come out, especially with the sun in the first house as of the 18th. So I hope that you don't, go into like panic mode or go into hiding or don't take advantage of your highest flowering right now. So with Venus in the second house, although Chiron is in the second house in Aries, but Venus is going to be there. I think you guys can make some money with that, with Venus in the second house, or at least enjoy some pleasantness with what you do own. Also, the North Node is in Cancer. It's at 7 degrees. It's in the 5th house of children, and love, and romance, and taking chances, and dating, and owning your own company, that type of thing. It's in Cancer, of course, so it's really an emotional connection to these things. Like you might feel emotionally connected to your children for some reason, or maybe your romantic partner. It might get real. Oh, it is February, so I can see where it could get real, you know, that could be an emphasis, romance. The full moon on the 9th is occurring in Leo, which is going to be, and it's at 20 degrees. It's going to be in your 6th house. That could affect your health. Could affect your work life, and it could affect your health. Because, it's going to be opposing the 12th house, which is the natural house of Pisces. So I think Pisces might feel that full moon in the 6th, more than not. And that full moon, again, occurs in Leo at 20 degrees. It's on the 9th. And I would just say, on the 9th, or that's a Sunday, just practice self-care, take care of yourself, pamper yourself, take care of your health. And I think you'll be able to get through this just fine. The one thing I also wanted to mention was that there is a stellium of planets in the 11th house. So we've got Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and on the 16th, Mars goes into Capricorn. It's in the 11th house of hopes and dreams and wishes, but that's also the 11th house of friends. That's friends, that's groups, that's association, that's clubs, that's organizations, that's belonging to things like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. This is going to be a major focus for you guys, I believe, during the next 30 days or so. But specifically, I think after the 16th, when Mars gets into that 11th house in Capricorn. And you know, it's funny because and Capricorn usually rules like big business. Mars and Capricorn in particular rules big business. So if I'm going to say this, Pisces, you have Mars and Capricorn in the 11th house, hopes, dreams, and wishes, clubs, organizations, associations, and we're talking big business because it's Capricorn. I would join as many clubs, groups, associations, organizations. I would even make my own clubs, groups, organizations, associations. This is a time to get connected to other people with Jupiter sitting up there in the 11th house like that. And with Mars going there, you're going to have a push to do that. And I just see that this is going to be a vital focal point for you. But with Jupiter, this is where your luck is. Your luck is in friendships. Your luck is in doing things with groups. Your luck is in doing things with clubs, organizations, associations. And if you put your focus there, well, it's sextile Pisces, all that Capricorn sextile Pisces. That's all positive. That is all positive. So I hope that you do that, Pisces. And may you have a beautiful February of 2020 and a gorgeous Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is coming up. And I can see with the North Node in the 5th house that you guys might have some love coming. And Venus in the 2nd house where it really loves to be. I see some love possibly. That should be nice for Pisces. So much love and light to you, Pisces. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy February to you. If you haven't already, take a moment to like and share our videos, because when you share our videos, more people can find out that I exist here and know about astrology and look inside. And then be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you know whenever I'm uploading new videos or doing lives like I'm doing right now. Okay? All right. Much love to you and many blessings. Bye now. So you guys, like I said, it's not even 10 a.m. and we managed to get through all 12 signs. I thank all of you who sat through this with me. And I'm going to go and put the timestamps on there so that you guys can find your sign individually quickly. And I'm also going to try, I'm not going to try, I will. I'm going to break these down into individual readings for the month so that each can have your own, you know, reading and your own sign and find it easily. And I'll make sure I edit it and get it all out there for you guys in the next couple of days. So much love, much light, many blessings.